that conclusion.
Dr. Fauci?
Yeah. To just add one thing that seems to get lost in that question is that, as Bob said, and I agree, we would really like to see the data, because if there is asymptomatic transmission, it impacts certain policies that you do regarding screening, et cetera. But the one thing historically people need to realize, that even if there is some asymptomatic transmission, in all the history of respiratory-borne viruses of any type, asymptomatic transmission has never been the driver of outbreaks. The driver of outbreaks is always a symptomatic person. Even if there's a rare asymptomatic person that might transmit, an epidemic is not driven by asymptomatic carriers.
Thank you very much. Donna, one last question. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, the World Health Organization just announced that that China has agreed to let experts, international experts, go ahead and work there with them. So I wanted to get an update from you on that. And
Well,
then,
I've been standing on the stage, so I didn't hear that. But obviously, if that is the case, delighted with that news, and delighted, and assuming CDC personnel would be part of that, but would be delighted.
And then I wanted to ask you about funding. Have you already been in touch with members of Congress about potentially seeking additional funding for the research going on at NIH, or anything else at CDC that they may require? Any emergency funding that you may request?
So by a declaration that I made, a determination on Saturday under our infectious disease rapid response fund that Congress funded in 2019, I was able to, working with OMB, to enable $105 million of funding to be directed towards the response, the preparedness and response activities immediately. We will keep assessing, based on the emerging nature of the preparedness and response activities, what's needed. I, of course, have various secretarial transfer authorities that, working with, under the direction of OMB and working with Congress, can be implicated. And, of course, we'll work with the Office of Management and Budget if there ever were a need for additional funding from Congress. We'll take the steps necessary to protect the American people, and funding won't be the barrier to that. Thank you all very much, and we're going to keep doing meetings, conferences. We want to be, as I said, completely transparent with the American people about the situation we're facing, and we'll be learning new information every day as we go through this. But thank you for being here with us today. Thank you.
Produced by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services at taxpayer expense.